Dear Bess, remember Maya Wynn from high school? I'm visiting her in St. Louis. We have tickets to tonight's premiere of the new Brady Armstrong movie, Vanishing Destiny. It's the last screening ever at the Royal Palladium. This place has been a landmark for almost a century, and now in just 3 days, it's going to be demolished. I wish I could have seen the theater back in the 20s before it was turned into a movie house. All the great magicians performed here, even Harry Houdini. There's a lot of public opposition to the loss of this historic building. Rumor has it local activists are planning to stage a big protest out front tonight. The theater will be closed when we arrive, but they'll let us in since Maya is covering the story for the university newspaper. Oh boy, a press pass sure does come in handy. Maya told me she has an interesting lead, and we're on our way to interview Brady Armstrong about the controversy now. I know he's one of your favorite stars. Stay tuned. Maya always gets the full scoop. Talk to you soon. Love, Nancy.
I've learned I can't really talk over Nancy when she's talking, so I try to avoid it.
Okay, Nancy, here I go. Cross your fingers, there's a story behind this door.
Go get 'em, Scoop.
Meet you in the lobby.
Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Is this thing on? Hello?
Think I'll go check out the snacks. That sounds like Maya.
Help! Nancy!
No, it's never good when a phone starts ringing.
Hello?
Listen carefully. If they knock the theater down, the girl goes with it.
What? Who is this? Hello? Hello?
The Phantom of the Opera, obviously.
You'll never get away with this. Do you hear me?
Hello?
You're messing with the wrong girls, whoever you are. She's a reporter and I'm a detective, and we don't scare easy.
This is Joseph Hughes, the caretaker. I'm looking for Brady Armstrong. He said he'd be there. Who's this? And what's all the excitement?
My friend has disappeared from Brady's dressing room. I heard her scream. I think she's been kidnapped.
Now, please try to calm down and tell me what's going on. What's your name, dear?
Man, I was definitely team get a new voice actor for Nancy, but now that it's happened, I regret that choice. I want her back. The new game is terrible. Let's see.
I'm Nancy. My friend Maya's gone, and I just received a threatening phone call from the kidnapper.
Whoa. They must have taken her through that secret passageway. Holy smokes. And you're on an inside line. That call must have come from inside the building. We gotta act quick.
Is
you
real
check
bad.
out the secret passageway. I'll make sure all the exits are locked, and then I'll come find you.
Also, I like how he was just like, oh yeah, it's the secret passageway.
No groupies in the dressing rooms. But since you're such a rascally fan, what would you say to a signed autograph from yours truly?
I'm not here for an autograph. My friend's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped? Maybe you better tell me what's going on here.
They used rascally in Treasure in the Royal Tower also. It's just, I've noticed because I'm playing them all in succession that a lot of the writing is very similar. Like a lot of the greets are the same. A lot of the goodbyes are the same. It's kind of funny.
I don't have time to explain. The kidnapper may still be in the building. I need to search this room.
Definitely the same
Sure
writers.
thing. How can I help?
Because especially with the earlier games, her interactive was tiny.
The caretaker was looking for you. See if you can help him.
Roger.
I did do a little bit of research before booting this game up on the Royal Palladium, as it were, and whether or not it exists in real life, since Nancy Drew does tend to kind of play close to real life scenario, as far as the information that the games have. And it's not not real, but it wasn't a theater ever. It wasn't St. Louis, it was opened in 1914 as a roller rink and ballroom. It became the Plantation Club in 1940 through most of the 1950s, which was like the Cotton Club in Harlem. So basically it was a place where African American performers would perform to white-only audiences. But it was a really big scene. They had like Nat King Cole, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday. But it got shut down as the Plantation Club in like the late 50s. And since then, until 2010, it was kind of off and on different bars and thrift stores. And then, since 2010, it's been abandoned. But it has, for the past 6 years, been on... It's not a National Historic Place, but it is on the list for the National Trust most endangered historic places. There have been a few people trying to like buy the property to tear it down. I just thought it was really interesting. Yeah, the Plantation Club. Terrible. It's actually not protected from demolition, which is why it's on the endangered list and not the protected list. So, this scenario could almost happen. I was looking at pictures, though. It's in bad shape. But from what I could find, the last thing that was really written about it was in 2014 when it was put on the list. It's still structurally secure, except for there's some issues with the floor, because it's still the original maple wood floors from the early 1900s. But it was a roller rink, not a theater.
It's locked.
Ooh, a quarter. You know, as far as the games go, no roller rinks. The closest I think we got was the theme park one. Can't even think of the name of it right now. The haunted carousel one. I kind of forgot that one existed. I mean, I have it, but, you know. I like this movie poster over here. Theater honestly kind of reminds me of one of the movie theaters that's a few blocks from where I live in Atlanta, where the entrance is definitely different. It's not quite as large, but it was a theater that was converted to a movie theater, and it's got like just a lot of detailing everywhere. It's super cool. See. Got a phone number. Yeah, there's a couple. I never really went to any. I think I went to one, but it wasn't quite as preserved as the ones that I've been to here, which are still like, or even the one in Athens. The one I went to in Cleveland that was technically a historic theater had been renovated. So it was still like, you could tell it was a little old, but Ooh, born in 1874 in Budapest, Hungary, under the name Erich Weiss, Houdini's family soon moved to Appleton, Wisconsin. From there, at age of 12, Houdini ran away from home. By the age of 13, he had reunited with his family in New York City and begun performing magic card tricks under his original stage name, Eric the Great. In the course of his illustrious 33-year career, Houdini escaped from prison cells, handcuffs, leg irons, straitjackets, packing crates, milk cans, coffins, and St. Louis tycoon J.J. Thompson's infamous watery grave. In addition to being the greatest escape artist of all time, Houdini was also a master of illusion. In 1918, at the Hippodrome in New York City, he made an elephant disappear on stage, and according to Houdini, the elephant, Jenny, weighed 10,000 pounds. His brilliant skill and ability to baffle and amaze an audience remains unsurpassed to this day. What's this? The Society of American Magicians would like to thank Harry Houdini for his great generosity and tireless devotion promoting the craft of magic. As president of the society for 10 years, Mr. Houdini brought worldwide recognition to the art and helped to foster the careers of countless aspiring magicians. We are honored to follow in his footsteps. So I have found out in the past years about the Magic Castle in LA, and I just really want to go. So bad. It just sounds so cool. Anyway, completely unrelated aside. Have you heard of the Magic Castle? Because it sounds wild. Also looks wild from like the little like behind the scenes video I saw once. So the Magic Castle is a privately owned venue operated by the real world equivalent of the Society of Magicians. That is, like, you can't perform there unless you're part of that guild. And it is an invitation-only venue, and they have, like, a pretty strict dress code. And yeah, it's just, like, the entire building is a magic show, and, like, there's trick walls and all that sort of thing. It would be like the coolest place to be at a murder mystery. I don't know that they do those, but it's basically a club. Alright, this is where I got the quarter from. Yeah, it's super cool. You should Google it. I want to bartend there. That'd be tight. This is not where I'm going. I just keep walking in a circle. Oh, maybe I was supposed to go up the stairs. Ah, yes. I don't know yet. Okay. Aha. Oh, Nancy, just picking up random shit. We got a rooming house. Interesting, interesting.
It's locked.
Right? Like, Nancy, your friend just got kidnapped. Just gonna push all the buttons. Let's see, we got a focus knob. The sprocket holes are not being strained or torn. Gotta watch out for your sprocket holes. Never leave the projector running unattended.
There was a key here.
But there's not anymore. I don't even know what Roblox is. Also, I can't call Bess yet. Can't call anybody. Right, this was anticlimactic. I was expecting somebody to be in there. Man, I will be so excited once I'm playing a Nancy Drew game that has the goddamn checklist. This is the 5th. I'm gonna see if it'll let me call the cops. It probably won't.
We're sorry. Your call.
Nah. Alright, well, I could call Bess from there, but I feel like it's too soon. Jazz machine. Jazz machine? Yeah, I don't think anybody ever called you that. What's this? Oh, it's out of service. What am I supposed to be doing?
Hi, you've reached Ned at Omega Chi Epsilon. I'm not here to take your call right now, so please try again later.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's Nancy.
Nancy, it's about time. How's St. Louis?
Something terrible has happened. Maya went to Brady's dressing room to interview him. I guess he wasn't there. She screamed, and now she's gone. I think she's been kidnapped.
Oh my gosh. Why would anyone want to kidnap Maya?
I received a threatening phone call. Somebody wants desperately to stop this demolition, and they're holding Maya as a bargaining tool.
That's terrible. Have you called the police?
Not yet. I guess I've been a little stunned.
Well, snap out of it, Nancy. Calling the police is a no-brainer.
I know.
St. Louis Police Department.
I'm calling to report a kidnapping.
Is the kidnapping in progress?
No.
Hold on, miss. I'll transfer you to the Missing Persons Unit.
Missing persons, Sergeant Mac Ramsey speaking.
I'm calling to report a kidnapping. No longer in progress.
And who am I speaking with, please?
My name is Nancy Drew.
Okay, Miss Drew. Now, did you witness this kidnapping?
No, but I heard it.
What exactly did you hear?
My friend went into a dressing room. I was out in the hall. and I heard her scream, so I went in after her, but she was gone.
When and where did this happen?
Just now, at the Royal Palladium Theater.
And what's your friend's name, Miss Drew?
Maya Wynn.
Can you spell that, please?
Maya, last name Nguyen.
Age?
19.
Physical description?
She's Asian American. I guess about 5'5", long black hair.
So you didn't actually witness anything, is that right?
I heard her screaming, and I received a threatening phone call. That must count for something.
A threat. Can you describe the voice? Was it a man or a woman?
It was spooky. I think they were using some voice disguise device.
Yes. That'll make it impossible to tell the gender of the caller. Did you notice anything suspicious looking in the vicinity?
No.
No suspects. Any visible signs of struggle in the dressing room? Did your friend leave anything behind? Her purse? Anything that might have fallen out of her pockets?
No.
No evidence. Does your friend work at the theater?
No, she's a student at Washington University.
Does your friend have any enemies?
Maya? I highly doubt it.
And what business did Maya have entering the theater dressing room?
She's a reporter for the school paper. She was there to do an interview.
What about Maya's parents? Have they been contacted?
They're in Vietnam this time of year. I don't know how to contact them.
Okay, miss. I'll file this report. After 24 hours, if she hasn't turned up, we consider her a missing person and begin to investigate.
How can she turn up? She's been kidnapped.
Unlikely. With all the scuttlebutt around this demolition, this stinks of student prank.
A prank? But this building is going to be demolished in 72 hours. How can we afford to take that chance?
How do you mean?
The kidnapper must be holding her in the building, don't you think?
Unlikely. No competent kidnapper keeps her captive anywhere near the scene of the abduction.
I know exactly who his voice reminds me of now. It's Rod Sterling from The Twilight Zone.
Is there anything else, Miss Drew?
Sergeant, I really don't think we can afford to wait 24 hours.
It's standard procedure, Miss Drew. Unless you can provide us with some evidence that your friend was taken by force, it's 24 hours.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll call you back when I have the evidence.
You do that.
Bye.
That sergeant's voice was excellent. Nobody's here.
Any news?
How do you keep up with all of your fans, Brady? A big star like you must get hundreds of emails.
Hundreds? Try thousands. All my email go through Simone. She reads it, she writes back. Control issues, you know? Off the record. Any message that says love Brady is just a big electronic smooch from her.
Do you mind if I take a look around in here?
Be my guest.
Talk to you later, Brady.
Cool beans.
Hello?
Bess?
What did the police say?
According to standard procedure, they can't get involved until Maya has been missing for 24 hours.
What could possibly be standard about a girl getting kidnapped?
They're not convinced it's a kidnapping.
Well, how did she disappear then? Poof? Alakazam?
Sergeant Ramsey says it could be a prank, or Maya might have just taken off or something.
Sergeant Ramsey obviously doesn't know Wash U's most dedicated reporter.
It's true. The only way she would have abandoned this story is if someone dragged her away from it.
Do Maya's parents know?
They always travel this time of year, remember? And besides, I've got to find Maya before this demolition. I doubt her parents could get back from the other side of the world before then anyway.
What a mess.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been so personally attached to a case.
Call me back when you know more. I'll get a hold of George and Ned and let them know what's going on. Poor Maya. I guess the only consolation is that she's got you on the rescue mission.
Did you do any art with your floated bitters? Yeah, you put the bitters on top of the foam, and then you take like a toothpick, and you can trace them. It's kind of like latte art, but, you know, with foamy, egg whitey alcohol.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up! Ha ha!
No, thank you.
Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card. Congratulations! You beat the magician. Don't forget to
Your
collect
audience
your
will be
winnings.
dazzled.
Ooh.
Your audience will be dazzled.
Good. We're starting early. This isn't even in one of the spooky games. I didn't notice this. Yeah, bitters with it's great. Bitters on foam. Great choice. And you can always do like half the bitters in the drink and then do like one on top. In this game and in Treasure in the Royal Tower, when you unlock a thing, there's been like this victory music that plays. And I just think it's really funny. Because it'll be like a total tonal shift that will keep playing for a little too long, so it doesn't really make any sense.
Any news?
Talk to you later, Brady.
Don't be a stranger.
Alright, so I've got a magic wand, a quarter, flash paper ring, a let's all go to the lobby slide, which I like. I can hear the tune that goes with that in my brain from all of the drive-ins that I've seen in my life. Who is this? Oh, JJ Thompson. Yes, the little dance and refreshments. That's the slide I got. Such a small piano. Oh, that's weird. Glitch that's happening.
Hi, you've reached Ned at Omega Chi Epsilon. I'm not here to take your call right now, so please try again later.
That is her watch, which is doing some weird graphical thing right now when I go over it, which I'm pretty sure is just like it's operating on the wrong kind of hardware issue. But it just says day one. In the last couple games, it has said the time. Yeah, okay, we read this already. Whose banana is this? Nancy, pick up that banana. Or this razor blade. Something useful.
I should switch the power off.
She's very responsible. I was hoping that someone would see that and be like, ah, yes, let's go to the lobby. It's a great idea. Interesting. It's always spades. Always. Oh boy. Is this one I can pick up? Oh, thank God. Yes, my hair's gotten quite long. And unfortunately, my stylist had to shut down her salon because the place that she rents out, the salon itself is like in a studio space where people rent out the individual units. And because we're in Georgia, and technically places can reopen now, the place that owns the studios has decided that everyone is required to pay rent now, whether they're open or not, and they're allowed to defer it, but then they'll just owe it all at once next month. So they are buying out the rest of their lease, which was only for another month anyway, and they will be hopefully reopening again somewhere else. It's really unfortunate. They were only open for like a year. Yeah, they were recommended to me by my manager, actually, but they're really cool. It's two women. They are both LGBTQ. And the main stylist, because one primarily does like cut and one does primarily color, but the one that usually does cut is also named Alex, and she's really good at different hair types. So I definitely will, when they reopen wherever they end up, will find them again. But where is her face? There it is. Yeah, hopefully not. To be fair, their last place wasn't the most ideal spot for me to travel to either, so... Because they were, like, downtown, which I hate going to. Alright, so I need to find gears. Did not see this before. All the music, all the drama, all the laughs. Witness the wondrous spectacle that has all of New York abuzz. Okay. I just feel like I'm missing something that should be obvious. Which is usually my downfall in these games.
It's locked. It's locked.
Truly, the transatlantic accent needs to make a comeback. Just for the lulz. Excuse me, sir. Do you have any gears?
Any news?
Talk to you later, Brady.
Bye.
Brady, why are you the only other person in this goddamn theater? Also, why is there a mailbox? Oh. Classic. Okay. I like that he just watched that whole thing happen and didn't say a goddamn word. The snake was here. K Hearts tea. I had some tea today. A little bit of constant comment. As one does. Oh, now I'm in the girls' dressing room.
I may have to cut this short, Hal. Someone just climbed out of my wardrobe.
Can't you see I'm on the phone here? This is an emergency. I'm looking for a 19-year-old girl with black hair.
Listen, sweetheart, I have a premiere tonight and no stylist for my star. So don't tell me about problems.
You don't understand. I think my friend is in trouble.
I said scram.
You's a bitch. Oh. I just heard a cat sneeze, but I don't know where it came from. I mean, presumably it came from one of my cats, but I don't know where that cat is. I like this Her interactive mug. Dinkamow. Ew.
This call's priority. Try me later.
Peep. He has started on some new medicine. As of a few days ago, because he had another fun vet excursion. And has to be on food that has kidney support, and yeah, it's a lot. Peep could be doing better. But he did play the other day, so that was exciting. He played for about 30 whole seconds.
Any news?
Talk to you later, Brady.
Cool beans.
Yeah. It would help if his sister didn't constantly accost him, probably. I know it's just because she wants him to play with her, but she's kind of a bitch.
No teeny boppers till showtime. House rules.
Those are some nice shorts.
Have you seen my friend Maya? She's 19, 5'5", black hair. She has on running shoes, jeans, and a black shirt with butterflies on it.
And the crisis is?
Secretly keeping him young. Yeah, that guy definitely... He also is like... He's probably a prepper, you know? Like this outfit with the propaganda behind him, you know. Hello, friend. Welcome to the final scene. I've finally got the ball rolling here. It took me forever to figure out how to get my suspects to start popping up.
She's a reporter doing a story on the theater demolition. She was trying to interview Brady Armstrong.
Forget Charmstrong. If she wants the real story, she better talk to me.
And why is that?
Hollywood? The fantastic plastic vacuum? I wouldn't go there in a pig's suitcase.
didn't?
I'm Nicholas
Oh, no.
Falcone, solemnly sworn to lead the forces of Hadit and slay the dragon of corporate generica. Who are you? And what's with the doom and gloom?
Oops, let me fix that real quick. I'm doing well. Yeah, no, I appreciate the looking out. I thought I updated it on OBS, but apparently not. Generica.
I'm Nancy, but I think I missed something. Generica?
Haven't you heard? The battle is on. There's a human chain forming out front as we speak. But all that can wait. It's obvious you got a situation, so what's up?
My friend's been kidnapped. I've got to start searching this place.
Phew. Kidnapping? Heh, that's a high-profile tactic. Somebody means business. So what's the demands?
Let's see. Don't correct his English, Nancy. That's rude as hell.
Suddenly, Maya's fate is tied to this theater. They said that if it gets demolished, she'll go with it.
No kidding. That'll blast those bureaucrats and corporate bigwigs out of their dream world. Applause for the cause. We need all the help we can get.
Listen, he just wants these sheeple to wake up.
You must be joking if you think any building is worth more than a human life. And it's a lousy joke, by the way.
I'm sorry. I know you're upset, but they won't mess with your friend. They just took her for effect. It's called making a statement.
He would know. I don't remember who done it. It's probably him, I guess it's him or the caretaker. Or Simone. It's not Brady Armstrong. He exists outside of this game in the world of Nancy Drew.
A statement? They said they'll let Maya go down with the building if it gets demolished. I haven't asked her myself, but something tells me that's a statement she'd rather not make.
She'll be okay. Trust me.
He's just making himself sound guilty, which...
How would you know?
Let's just say I know a little bit about impassioned people and their extreme measures.
Note to self. Trust Nicholas Falcone no further than you could throw him.
That's the, most passive-aggressive shit you could say to somebody's face. Hello, person I just met. I wouldn't trust you as far as I can throw you.
You must be Nancy. The worry's written all over your face. Well, I'm Joe. I started to look for you, but then I figured better to park myself and let you find me. Any trace of your friend?
I found the secret passageway all right, but no sign of Maya. I can't believe this is happening.
What about calling the police? There's an outside line in the ticket booth.
I already spoke to them. According to their policy, Maya's not officially missing yet. If I want their help before tomorrow, I have to come up with some evidence of foul play.
But this theater's going to be torn down in 3 days. Did you tell them that?
I have to find some evidence to convince the police that this is a real emergency.
Well, I checked all the outside doors, and they're locked up tight. Only folks who've been in the theater all day are Brady and Simone, you and Maya, Nicholas Falcone, and myself.
I am not watching Tiger King. You're good. Mello is a fellow Nancy Drew streamer here on the Twitches. They stumbled across me the other day and have popped in for at least a little bit in my streams. I haven't caught any of theirs yet, though. I keep looking. I just miss them. Let's see. Tiger King. Yeah, no, and I probably won't. Just because I think the whole, animal abuse aspect that people seem to not be focusing on would trip me up pretty bad. And there are enough stressful things going on in my life right now. So I listened to a spoiler cast about it through one of the podcasts I listened to, What's Good Games. And they started talking about shows that they're watching along with what they're playing. And yeah, it's... So I know about it. Probably not going to watch it.
You're suggesting it must be one of these people?
Well, I've only got this one pair of eyes, so I can't say 100%.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
I was up here in the projector room, sound testing for the premiere. But I'd be disappointed in your detective work if you didn't put me through the ringer like a regular suspect.
Sound testing. Yeah, I think I remember hearing you practicing your MC voice now that you mention it.
I reckon if the kidnapper wants the demolition stopped, they must be keeping Maya somewhere in the building.
Right, I agree. That's why I'm going to turn this theater inside out until I find her.
That's the spirit. Now,
Get 'em,
what's your plan of
Nancy.
attack?
Yeah, I have heard a little bit of that through the podcast specifically, nowhere else. Which is why I like listening to that podcast. That the documentarians are very obtuse in the way that they view everything. Or in that their lens is very obtuse, at least. They're not just some apathetic third party. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that there's some people out here that are acknowledging that people are spending way too much time focusing on things other than the animal abuse that was happening.
Operation Bust a Kidnapper is about to begin. Where can I get an insider's guide to all of the secret passages in this place?
Try calling county administration. The records division keeps that type of stuff. I bet a blueprint would show secret passages that even I've never found. Ask for the original plans, not the ones from the 56 remodel.
When was the theater built?
Completed in 1925. The vision of one J.J. Thompson. Anyway, I've spent the last 40-something years finding my way around this place, so let me know if I can help.
Thanks, Joseph.
Don't let the turkeys get you down.
Don't let the turkeys get you down. Words to live by. Alright. Oh god, no, that's terrible. Please don't free Joe Exotic. Let's see. Posters. He just told me to call this records place and then didn't tell me where to get the number from.
Nancy, what's the 411?
The 411?
Come on, Nancy. That's vintage slang. You know, the 411, the deal, the lowdown.
I hate this guy.
So, humans against the destruction of illustrious theaters. Tell me about it.
This theater's a spotted owl. It's a humpback whale. It's endangered. Illustrious buildings testify to our finest human hours. They should be celebrated, not bulldozed to make way for cardboard megaplexes. Need I say more?
Have I watched Blackfish? I know the plot of Blackfish and, like, the shit that went down around it. But I don't think I've ever made myself actually watch it because I knew what it was about before it was on Netflix or whatever. And you've never heard of it? That's impossible. Blackfish is well, you have to watch it now. Well, if you're in a mental space where you're okay to watch it. Blackfish is the documentary that kind of busted open SeaWorld. And, like, from what I understand, because, again, I haven't actually watched it, like, this killer whale essentially went insane and, like, maimed, if not killed, their handler. I don't recall completely. Yeah, it's the documentary that got SeaWorld in trouble. Yeah, it's 'cause of Blackfish. At least, like,
I'm
read the wiki.
Everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Kill her. That's
I was
what
outside,
I thought. I just
harnessing public outrage. Ask anyone.
Do you know what they plan to build on this spot after the theater is gone?
Oh, it's very hush-hush. The name of the building firm is Wave of the Future, and the owner is some B. Thompson, descendant of J.J. Thompson, but he's never available for comment. Fishy, right? $10 says B stands for baloney.
Catch you later.
On the flip side.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, hey, they need ride or dies. I might get around to it. I honestly, not that I forgot about it, but it just hasn't really been in my radar recently. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got me one of the Blackwell point and clicks. I have a really hard time with them just because I have a really hard time with pixel art games. And I talked about this when I was playing Treasure in the Royal Tower, but they have the issue, just like the logical problem, where, like, the next step doesn't actually make any real-world sense. So I had a really hard time getting anywhere in those games, just because they don't make a lot of sense. Oof, yeah, that sounds rough. As much as I love a lot of Asian cultures, especially Japan, they do some really fucked up shit to animals.
Nancy Drew, Simone Mueller, don't worry, Vanishing Destiny is off. We've got bigger fish to fry.
So you heard about Maya?
Of course. I mean, a kidnapping? Right out of my star's dressing room? The premiere is small potatoes.
Golden Boys.
It's worth more to us canceled, or at least postponed. When the news gets out, the whole nation will be watching.
I really need Nancy and Frank to get together. And completely ignoring Midnight in Salem, because nobody needs to talk about that. But, if we had a good Her Interactive game, I really hope that they further that, because that is one thing that Midnight in Salem does kind of, like, start pushing towards, is that, like, maybe Nancy and Ned are kind of hitting the outs a little bit, but Frank's there. He supports her no matter what she does. He believes in her as a detective. I do really like the Siberia point and clicks, so Mello, if you haven't checked those out, you should definitely. Frank, from the Hardy Boys.
I don't think we should get the press into this before the police have had a chance to investigate.
Where are you from?
River Heights. Why?
Yes, precisely. River Heights. Listen, doll, I'm from L.A. This ain't my first time at the rodeo. We'll find your friend, or Brady Armstrong will, and when he does, every girl in America will wish she'd been kidnapped instead of Maya what's-her-name.
I can't believe you. No girl wants to be kidnapped, ever.
I'm proposing a business alliance. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We don't have to see eye to eye.
I'd rather be crushed by an elevator, because Nancy knows what that feels like.
I propose you back off.
Honey, you've got spunk. Ever consider acting? This girl power thing is red hot right now. Of course, we'd have to think of a stage name. Nancy Drew is so utterly forgettable.
I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Oh, please, Nancy, I was on the phone, doing business. But if I'm ever hard-pressed for entertainment, I'm sure kidnapping would be a real hoot.
Joseph says the building was probably locked when the kidnapping happened, and that the kidnapper had to be someone who was inside the theater. Care to comment?
Why don't you tell that little gray troll that I think he did it, just to keep himself from dying of boredom in this old dump. That's my comment.
This woman is awful, but I love Nancy's response.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Ciao.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys make so many crossovers in these games. They're in Train to Blue Moon Canyon, they're in Creature of Kapu Cave. They're, unfortunately, I mean, one of the bright points in Midnight in Salem. Let's see. What else are they in? I know they're like phone contacts in a lot of them. But you can actually play them in a few of them.
Any news?
Who's this Simone, and how do you know her?
Simone Mueller, CEO of my life. My agent.
Oh, that's great.
Focus on being wholesomely smoldering, she says, and leave the rest to me. So I do. She's been setting up Premier HQ in the women's dressing room. Haven't you heard her snarling at people on the phone?
I have one Nancy Drew book, which I can't tell from where I'm sitting which one it is, but I picked it up. It's like an actual vintage copy. It's super cool. I'm gonna grab it real quick because it's right there, just taunting me. But it's the very first one. So it's Secret of the Old Clock, which is not the best game. It smells so old.
I'm asking everyone, where were you when the kidnapping happened?
Me? You think I kidnapped Maya and then breezed in here just 4 minutes later? Where would I hide her? In my back pocket?
Just answer the question, Prince Charmstrong.
Charmstrong?
You know you love it. Just keep talking.
I was late getting back from a haircut. This is hard for me. I think my hairline might be receding. It's miserable. Simone's gonna go through the roof.
Yeah, these games are great. I'm very glad I'm replaying them. I am missing 3 of them at the moment because I let a friend borrow them. So I need to get those back from her before I catch up. The first one I'll hit is Shadow at Water's Edge, which I know her mom was playing, which is hilarious, but she should be done with it by now. But we've still got a while, but yeah.
Talk to you later, Brady.
I basically let her borrow the spooky ones that
you betcha
potentially would have worked on her Mac. They didn't end up working anyway, but she's got the warnings at Waverly Academy, Shadow at Water's Edge, and then the Ghost of Thornton Hall, which, as one of the later ones, is really good. Okay.
Hey there, Nancy.
Tell me about that old key-making machine in the lobby. Has it been out of order long?
It's been broken for a spell. The kids lost interest in it when video games came along. But I bet it wouldn't be hard to fix. I'd love for you to see how it works. And then you could make yourself a little souvenir from the Royal Palladium. Or send a key to your sweetheart.
So where will you go after the demolition? Are you planning to retire?
Greasewood, Arizona. My brother Jake is there. It's a tiny town with no movie theater, so we're going to put one on the map. I got some money saved.
Oh no. But his brother died.
Who is this J.J. Thompson character anyway?
Old J.J. Owner, visionary, wheeler dealer. J.J. loved a magic show. He had this place built with those kind of big spectacle shows in mind. J.J. also happened to love the sight of his own mug in the mirror. You can tell by the way he ornamented the auditorium with his own head.
The history of this theater is so rich. I'm surprised the city of St. Louis isn't more interested in preserving it.
Well, they are interested. The Historical Society's been working like the dickens to get this place declared a landmark. But someone downtown has been stalling. They're awfully close.
Joseph, I did some checking. You don't really have any family in Greasewood, do you?
Now, what you want to go digging into an old man's life for, Nancy?
Everyone's a suspect, Joseph. You know that. If you have nowhere to go after the theater comes down, then maybe you're the kidnapper desperado. It's not so far-fetched, is it?
Now. I am going to Greasewood, and I'm not desperate. I made up the part about my brother so you wouldn't feel sorry for me. You've got enough to worry about, don't you?
Gotta go now.
Atta girl.
Suspicious.
Hello?
Bess?
And George, too. What's new, Nancy?
I asked Joseph where he would go after the theater is demolished, and he said he was moving to Arizona to start a movie theater with his brother.
A fresh start. Good for him.
Yeah, except that I found a letter that says his brother has been dead for years.
Why would he lie? What do you think he's hiding? Give the guy a break. Maybe he just wants to hide the fact that his life is going to be empty without that theater to look after.
Brady said Simone wants him to appear wholesomely smoldering to his public. What in the world do you think that means?
Well, wholesome makes me think of apple pie.
And to smolder, according to my trusty dictionary, is to burn slowly from the inside, without flame.
So, he's a sweetie pie on the outside, but too hot to touch.
Oh, did you have to bring this up with Bess here, Nancy?
It seems like the two things don't go together. One is safe, the other is dangerous.
Interesting. Maybe that's Brady's whole dilemma. He doesn't know whether he's a good guy or a bad guy.
Which is exactly why he can't be trusted.
Ladies, wholesomely smoldering is just like Chris Evans. Except for not in Knives Out, where he's just smoldering. The young.
I met Nicholas Falcone, the leader of Hadit. His organization is camped out in front of the theater, demonstrating against the demolition.
What's the deal with Hadit?
Nicholas says he's sworn to slay the dragon of corporate generica.
All in favor of men who slay dragons. Say aye.
Honestly, Bess, what are we going to do with you? Nancy, what in the world is generica?
I think it's a term for what this country would be like if suddenly it all looked the same.
Oh, you mean if it became generic? Like a bar of soap that's just called soap.
Right. Hadit believes that protecting historical buildings is key to preserving our national character.
That's
sounds noble.
Yeah, except he practically jumped for joy when I told him the kidnapper's motive is to save the theater.
Uh-oh. Sounds like you better keep an eye on him, Nancy.
I stand for George. I stand hard for George.
Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Good luck. Be careful.
Is this motherfucker gonna answer his phone this time, or is he still having frat parties?
Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Nancy. Bess called and told me what happened with Maya. I've been worried sick.
Did she tell you what the police said?
About the 24-hour delay? Yeah, she told me. But I have faith in you, Nancy. You've solved plenty of cases before without help from the police. So let's get down to business. Who are your suspects?
It seems there were only 4 people in the building at the time of the kidnapping, besides Maya and myself. Brady Armstrong, Simone Mueller, his agent, Nicholas Falcone, a political activist, and the caretaker, Joseph Hughes.
Any hunches?
Not yet. I've got a lot of work to do.
Call me anytime. I'll try to stay close to the phone.
By the time I finally got to talk to Simone Mueller, she had heard all about the kidnapping and canceled the premiere of Vanishing Destiny.
Sounds like bad news travels fast around old theaters.
That's just the thing. Simone didn't seem to think Maya's kidnapping was bad news at all. She kept calling it a great opportunity. She kept saying what fabulous publicity it's going to be for Brady.
Sounds like she knows how to turn a profit in any situation.
The question is she just responding to the situation, or did she have a hand in creating it in the first place?
No flies on you, Nancy Drew. Sounds to me like your detective mind is in high gear.
He is such a dingus.
There's this cool machine in the lobby that makes souvenir keys. You can make a key in any shape and call it the key to your heart. I wanted to make one for you. Not that this is any time to think of souvenirs.
Maybe after you solve the case, Detective.
Well, besides the fact that I don't have time for distractions, the machine is out of order.
Phew, that's a relief.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nancy Drew, you know the key to your heart would be much too big to carry around on my keychain. I'd probably throw my back out.
Good point, Mr. Nickerson.
Anyway, it's the thought that counts.
Gross.
I've got to think of a way to get this demolition stopped.
Well, the police aren't being much help. But couldn't you try contacting the owner of the building? I'm sure he or she would be willing to postpone for a couple of days. I mean, what's the rush?
According to Nicholas, his name is B. Thompson, and he won't talk to the press.
I wonder what he has to hide.
His building firm is called Wave of the Future.
Catchy. I wonder what he has against the present.
Ned, I just remembered something. Joseph used the phrase Wave of the Future when I first met him. He was talking about the remodel of the theater in 1956. Do you think it's a coincidence?
I don't know, Nance. If Joseph turns out to be the owner of the theater and the guy behind the demolition, I think it'll be fair to say you've seen everything.
Bye, Ned.
Bye.
Okay. So, we've talked to everybody. We have called out Joe on lying to us about having a brother that he's moving in with in Arizona because his brother died years ago. Need to find gears for that puzzle box in the basement. Mau Mau indeed. He's a cranky old man.
Watch out there, Nancy. That projector's crumbling like a prehistoric cookie.
Oh, so I can't play with the projector when he's here. Good to know. You need to find those blueprints. Okay.
What's up? Can't talk long. Gotta check on my people.
What's your attachment to saving this theater? You seem so personally invested.
Politics is personal, but with this place, it's ultra personal. My grandma, Louisa Falcone, designed the molds for all the insane plasterwork that you see in this lobby and in the auditorium.
Right? I will be very excited for my checklist and for Nancy to finally get a cell phone.
Wow, I can see why you would hate to let it be destroyed. After all, this artwork is her legacy.
True. But there's more. I guess the architect-owner guy, J.J. Thompson, ran out of cash before the building was done. He never paid my grandma dime one. And then he denied that she had ever done the work in the first place.
Why didn't he give her the credit?
Yeah, she was the artist type, not a deal maker. I guess she'd never signed any contractual stuff with JJ, and she didn't have the resources to sue him or any of that. So I guess she just had to let it go.
She must have been so frustrated.
Here's the kicker. After JJ sharked her on this 2-year project, she was broke. And then the Great Depression hit. She could never afford to work as an artist again.
What did she do instead?
Louisa, Mother Serenity Falcone? She just kept on trucking in true Falcone style. Died at 97 without a bitter bone in her body. I think she had a happy life. But this theater holds the last artwork she ever did. Don't you see, Nancy? Saving this place is not just for history. It's for justice.
Can't you get some justice now?
My family has been trying for years, but there doesn't seem to be anything on record that links her to this place. Nancy, could you do me a favor?
I think I know what you're going to ask.
While you're searching, could you just keep your eye out?
Maya's my first priority, as you can imagine. But if there's any way I can help set the record straight on this beautiful artwork, I will.
You're cooler than I thought, Nancy.
I try to play it down.
Casual. Alright. I mean, yeah, probably. That guy's the worst. I wonder how bad those clothes smell. It's like, theaters don't wash their clothes. It's not a thing that happens. Especially if it's been mostly like not even a stage theater for decades. Whew.
On your stage name? I'm thinking Samantha Quick. You love it, right?
How long have you been Brady's agent?
I discovered him on an electric spring morning 6 years ago. He was working the original Coney Dog stand on Sunset Boulevard. It was pure luck. I was craving an all-beef Frank at 7 a.m.
Is that an innuendo?
He's been the jewel in my crown ever since.
I think your phone's about to ring.
Love ya.
Alright, so I need to find blueprints. I need to find gears.
Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card. Oh, so close, but no cigar. The hand is quicker than the eye. Find the ace of spades. Keep your eye on the card. Congratulations! You beat the magician. Don't
Your
forget to
audience
collect
will be
your
dazzled.
winnings.
I already won that. Right? And it goes on for way too long. But what could I be missing?
12 seconds later.
I'm definitely just missing something. Also, how do you get in these? I want to go in these. I mean, yeah, I gotta be rich, but also how do I physically get there? There are no other staircases. I guess there are those doors that look like emergency exit doors off to the side. Ooh. Is there anything new over here? Nah. Nothing.
One eternity later.
Ah. That's what I'm missing. So I am supposed to find the blueprints, but Nancy's doing that thing that she does in the older games where it doesn't matter if you've already seen a number unless she's ready to see it. It doesn't exist. Which just tripped me up in Treasure at the Royal Tower too.
County Administration.
There we go.
314-555-3309.
Classic. Yeah, I was doing a lot of running around trying to beat Royal Tower because I had seen something before Nancy was ready to see it, and it just messed everything up.
Records, Madeline.
I'll probably play
Hi,
for another like
I'm looking for the blueprints for the
15
Royal
minutes.
Palladium
I'll probably
Theater.
cut
Do
it
you
off
have them
right
on
around 2
file?
hours
Are
in.
you a county employee?
No, just a citizen on a mission.
Okay, well, we do keep blueprints on file. Let's see. The computer says there are 2 sets for the Palladium, 1923 and 1956. Do you have a preference?
1923, please. The originals.
Would you like to hold while I retrieve them?
Sure, thanks.
This woman is so nice. So is this hold music?
Ma'am?
Yes, I'm still here.
It's very strange, ma'am. They're gone.
Gone? You mean someone checked them out?
Oh, we don't allow people to check them out. You can bring the blueprints to our reading room and study them there, but they're not supposed to leave the building. I can't imagine where they could be. Hold on, let me see if Charles knows.
I love this woman so much. Don't you know? It does sound like a
Ma'am,
Nintendo
this
RPG.
is so strange. Charles says some guy was just in here looking at them a few days ago.
What did he look like?
Hold on. said the guy had a hat on. He never really got a look at the guy.
Was he young or old?
Hey, Charles, young or old? Energetic is all Charles remembers.
Okay, well, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm working on some things over here at the Royal Palladium. Could you do a search for the blueprints?
Sure thing. I'll put in a find request. Call back in 5 to 7 business
That or
days.
she's a
Next
hosier,
week?
you know?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't have that kind of time. Is there any way to expedite the search?
I'm afraid not. The guy who does our misplaced material searches just returned from a month of paternity leave, and he's swamped.
I see.
This is urgent?
Yes, it's urgent, all right. But I'll figure something out. Thanks, Madeline.
Good luck.
Bye.
Right? The state, or city at least. Because they work for the county. Let's all move to St. Louis. I don't actually want to move to St. Louis.
Hi, Nancy.
Gotta go now.
Don't let the turkeys get you down.
Them turkeys. I wonder if her accent was just them being like, oh yeah, St. Louis. Missouri's kind of Midwest, right? Let's, Minnesota. Let's make them sound like they're from Minnesota. Ridiculous.
Hello?
Bess?
And George, too. What's new, Nancy?
I took Joseph's advice and called county administration to see about the blueprints for the theater.
He sounds like a big help.
Yes, but the woman on the phone said that the blueprints are missing.
Official records? Missing?
She said that a man was in last week looking at them, but they haven't been seen since.
The kidnapper? Or a certain smoldering sidekick?
Well, whoever it was, they must have taken the blueprints with them. How on earth am I going to find all the
Bess
secret
and
rooms and passages
George's
in this
voice
place now?
actors are switched.
I'm not worried, Nancy. Me neither. You could probably find a secret passage in a paper bag.
Are you kidding, George? Nancy could find a secret passage in a blueberry muffin.
Right? Oh, also, only Minnesota sounds like that. I'm from the Midwest. I do not speak with that accent. But yeah, so in Haunted Mansion and Royal Tower, Bess had the, girlier voice by leaps and bounds. And that's how it is through most of the games, from what I remember. But it definitely sounds like they just read different lines. Or are the same voice actor. I need to look into this more, because I've definitely had a few occurrences where it sounded like they're just the same person doing a slightly different voice. I don't know.
Nicholas told me that his grandmother did a lot of the artwork inside the theater, but that J.J. Thompson, the original owner, never paid her or even gave her credit for it.
That's terrible. I can see why he's so dedicated to saving the theater then.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about this J.J. Thompson.
Maybe you can help Nicholas get his grandmother the credit she deserved.
I told him I'd keep my eye out for anything that would prove her connection to this place.
I wonder if JJ left any of his personal effects behind.
If he did, I'm sure they're gone now. His kids must have cleared the place out when they remodeled in 1956, a few years after he died. That's when it became a movie theater.
You never know, Nancy. If there's one thing your detective work proves every time, it's that old buildings are the keepers of old secrets.
Let's just hope this building lives long enough to tell.
Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Good luck.
Be careful.